I bought this new Ithaca double back in the spring of 2016. It had some major dents in the last 8 inches or so of the barrel. So I did something I didn't really ever want to do. I cut it back to about 19.5 inches long on the barrels. The gun was made in 1899 and has steel barrels, but they're made to look like Damascus, because in that era people didn't trust the new steel barrels. They trusted the Damascus because they considered them stronger. This is the spring of 2016 when I test fired the old gun after I trimmed the barrel back. I didn't put a bead on it because the rib has like a trench down it, and it makes it easy to sight with without a bead, and I shot it in several matches in that fashion. This is late fall in 2019. We got a little skiff of snow and I cleaned that off and swept off the truck. It got darker and worse after this, so I went inside to do a little bit of tinkering on my old Ithaca. I had everything I thought I needed to put this sight on. The little sight new I got from a gun show purchase, and the tap I got from Midway USA is a 3/56 thread size. That's a pretty odd size. The drill bit is a 45 number drill and some Loctite. I measured the width of the rib and it was 400 thousandths wide, and so I divided that in two and scratched a line down where locate the bead. I measured the old barrel bead location. It was 3/8 of an inch back approximately. I scratched the line there and then used my center to make a mark to start the drill. Drilled through with the number 45 bit. Here I am cutting the threads with the 3/56 tap. It's a tedious time whenever you got a little small tap like this. It's really easy to break it off. The rib turned out to be really hard, but I took my time and made it through it just fine. My big old fat fingers have a hard time holding on to a small object like this and getting it lined up right. I've used this trick before by chucking the bead shank into the lathe jaws and then using the drill chuck to clamp to it and then release it from the lathe jaws and pull it back to where I can handle it. Then I've got something I can use my big fat fingers on. I cleaned up the threads with on the bead and in the hole with acetone to facilitate the Loctite sealing correctly. I used just a very small drop of Loctite on it to hold the bead in place. I think that'll be sufficient. Using the bead in the drill chuck, I went ahead and screwed it on in. No incidents in this part. Just take a little bit of cleanup, about all is left to do. Just a view from a different angle. Looks a lot better. 92 days until spring. Come on, spring. I can't wait for spring.